to
Oh, hey everybody, we're on. We're I didn't. Sorry, Kanitha. She was just saying uh, happy to introduce my friend Kanitha Matoury. She's running for Oakland City Council District 2. Is a famous business owner in Oakland. Fantastic restaurant, the Spice Monkey, and great grocery store and everything else. And hey, welcome back.
thank you for having me back. It's always so much fun on your show.
Yeah, we've been bantering back and forth so much I forgot whether we're on or offline. But we're on. Hey, so tell my viewers about your run for Oakland City Council District 2.
Yeah, so 20 year as a small business here in Oakland, a mother of two, and political refugees, U.S. Air Force Reserve veteran, and been in the District 2 for about 6 years now, and live right in the heart of Chinatown. I just love our city, and I felt inspired to still run for the D2, even though I got beat up a little bit at large, but I learned a lot as a first time comer, and I believe that I can really help inspire change and make Oakland pull Oakland out of what's the challenge situation that is in right now and bring it back to the right situation, because I think that Oakland have challenges just like a lot of city, but again we are very resilient and strong, with the right people in the seat, with the vision, and effective and efficient, we can really turn our city around and make it thrive.
You are among the most high profile small business owners in Oakland. You've seen a lot in Oakland. Tell my viewers, for those who uh, need someone to really talk about it, from a business owner's standpoint, what is going on with all the blight in Oakland, and how has it affected your business, and what do you want to do about it?
Yes, the blight and the trash, and it's really morale is really not very uplifting, right? When we already struggle with the perception of high crime, and not just perception, but still is the crime is still occurring, but that perception is also a killer. You're already struggling with that, so with all the blight and everything, it's not going to attract people to come down and shop or visit or walking around town, and which is really bad for all business altogether, and it makes the towns very run down. And when that happens, it's the energy, just like anything else in life. It's all about the energy, and the energy is it's not a good energy, and that's where we really really need to pay attention and turn it around, because all our retail is really suffering on the ground, and that vibrancy of business and energy is just starting to eroding, and it's really bad, and we need to pay attention like yesterday or last year, and it's getting worse in downtown. And I like to say the downtown is the economic engine, right? And we have to really pay attention to what's going on. And more than ever, I'm asking all politicians or anyone who is in power to really start paying attention and act immediately in terms of what we can do to make our town better.
You've been on the campaign trail now for a while, between at large and District 2. What have you learned about the city from the people you've talked with?
Well, I've been very grateful in terms of serving people in a different way. I spent the last, it's going to be 18 years on 17 in Webster here, between my grocery store and the restaurant. But getting out there to really hear the people frustration in terms of what just regular people want and need, from the business to the resident to everything else, is safety, and a clean street is number one, like on everyone's mind right now. That's affecting everything, our daily quality of life. Our insurance rate, it's just went through the roof. Everything that we do is really affecting, and it's all around that. And again, it takes funding to have service run properly. And I'm myself, as a business operator for many, many years, I understand that really well. And as the city is going through budget situation now that really need to be addressed, and it's that we need all our politician in house now to act, prioritize correctly, or else it's just going to go down the wrong direction altogether. Because what at this like critical point in time that we're almost like, everybody, please, 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 like safety, safety. I show up and speaking with the police commissioner and said, whatever you're doing now, it's not working. And if you are going to work on behalf of the people and us, like they have to come up with a counter proposal solution. If they said, we don't want to change our chase policy, and but the new police chief said, well, this is not working. So what is the counterpoint? Like, because we really need safety, number one, and the perception of safety. And it's the two that really need to say, okay, well, we're doing something different. So then the people feel confident that, okay, well, Oakland leader and Oaklands are changing, right? It's giving that hope and faith, equal good result,
How also share with my viewers, talk a little bit about your business. You have the Spice Monkey, which recently closed, right? Talk about that first. And
well, Spice Monkey is very dear to my heart. It's not just a restaurant. It's more like a community gathering space. My vision for it was, create a cuisine where you don't have to travel the world, but you can just sit at a table with your loved one or your company or your colleague. And like, for example, you can have a taco, I can have a burger, or an island pho, which is a kind of like a faux pho dish that we create. And we're always changing our dishes every quarter. But then the food and the drink was always kind of like an after. What our main product was bringing people together over drinks and food and connection. So that's why we have the component of live music and comedy show, improv, storytelling, poetry night, and we do fundraising for a lot of nonprofits. And it was just kind of like a space that we come together. And that was what Spice Monkey was like. And I think that whole mission and that energy we built around that. And then the food and the drink, it was just like, it was something, right? It's a restaurant. It had to have food and drink, but bringing the right people together and enjoying one and another. Doesn't matter if they're like politician, influencer, regular people, musicians, artists, from all backgrounds. And I it's been blessing for me to have that for 14 years. So I know everyone and their cell phone number all across industry. And I think that's why I could be a good counsel, because I know everybody in a different version. Yeah.
hey,
Bringing people together.
tell if you, as much as you feel comfortable, why did it close?
So 2021 was a tough year. For 2020 was the COVID, and everyone's still trying to figure it out. 2021 comes around, we were still trying to figure it out, especially like you probably remember, mask on, mask off.
Yeah.
For a restaurant was like reduced occupancy. Like, you can't really justify your operation costs and all the expense with like 25 people in a restaurant when you regular night you're doing like 300 or 400 covered, right? So it was a really tough time for us in 2021 after paying rent or talking to the landlord, said, hey, how do we come together and work together? Like, it's going to be a big expense to bring this whole machine back, but then we can only sell 25 hamburger at a time or food. It doesn't make sense, right? In order to save Howden Market, which is the sister business, we have to kind of cut our budget and see where it's effective and efficient in terms of which one is costing us more to operate in order to survive. So we decided after 14 years, we're going to kind of put it closed for temporary. It still said closed temporary online right now as we speak. And people have been asking me, like, bring it back. I have an opportunity to maybe bring it back on a rooftop on a 20th floor. But I said to the developer, I have to fix Oakland first
Yeah.
before we do any of that.
Did you take out a PPP loan or?
We did, yeah, yeah. Talking about the PP loan, they don't last very long,
Nope, they
because
don't.
you literally have to pay everyone to stay home, and you while you still have all your operation costs, and it just kind of covered your payroll, right? And I have such a big staff back then, and it's a highlight between the two places. We have about 40 people on staff, like so. There's a lot of moving part. I think it's lasted us maybe 3 months at the most with the PP
Wow.
loan.
Oh,
Yeah, so even
you need to like Pac-Man. Clonk, 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 clonk. Wow.
yeah.
Oh,
And while you were on the subject, we all have this SBA loan, that's 30-year program, which I
right.
think in about 25 years you're going to see even more cascade effect of business are going
Mm,
to have struggle, because the way the loan structure, it's like you paid only the interest and it will
oh, balloon.
balloon.
Yeah, balloon.
Correct. And like, remember how we have those house crisis, the
Mm-hmm.
mortgage crisis that
Yeah.
melt down? I'm anticipating something's going to be very similar in 2025, 25 years
Wow.
from now, between the small business that have such an impact on all the loan, because they were just handing out money, and if you don't really know how to budget correctly, and if you spend it all at once, like, you're still on in debt because you're borrowing just to stay existing, and then
Right.
you have all these unknown situation. Like myself, like, I saw it's coming, I was like, wow, it's going to be worse, right? And you can see that now,
Mhm.
5 years later, how many restaurants have been closed.
Yeah.
We have like six something thousand of small business are closing.
You remind
And
me of
just,
something. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
yeah, no, it's really it's a really a scary thought that we have to really think and address in the future.
You remind me of a piece that I wrote in Oakland News Online, May, I believe it was May 20, 20th, somewhere in there, 2020, when Mayor Schaaf announced that she was going to put together this pandemic task force,
Hmm.
and they were going to have a plan for the city for when the pandemic ended. And I said, instead of doing that, having people sit on a task force now, use tax increment financing and put together a bond issue for revitalization. And you have to grab the property tax money over a large acreage just because of the pandemic impacting payments for property taxes. But over time, talking about a 45-year bond issue, it'll be just fine. But my point is, use proceeds from that partially to give out grants to businesses in Oakland to help them stay open during the pandemic. Because
Correct.
right, I mean, that's something they don't have to pay back.
Correct.
Instead, Libby did her task force, and there are people on it like those who own Lucas. Lucas is dying while she's on the task force. You know what I'm talking about, and it's literally dying before our eyes, and she's on a task force to save business, and her own business is dying in Oakland. That's what happened with,
Mm,
right? As opposed
yeah.
to having a real live economic development program. That's why,
Yeah.
I ask, what's the city going on? We talked about it a bunch of times. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, no, I mean, we have to stay creative, and I have a couple idea that how we can do that, because it's just so uh there is so many different sector being affected, and the more that we don't pay attention to this, it's going to get worse and worse. And with the inflation and the raise of operations and fees, and and the people who shops and dine and all of this, they didn't get pay raise also. And matter of fact, people are losing their jobs, so therefore we have to figure out how do we control some of these. Like, I speak against major A, which is going to be on the ballot, and I
Yeah.
said no on that, because we can't tax the people anymore. The voter in Oakland are very generous. We vote yes for a lot of things, right? A lot. They vote yes on major and vote yes on this, vote yes on that. And uh, but now more than ever, we need the politician that's in house, or who have any influence, to say, how do we manage our household budget better
Oh, we
instead
should
of
tell
taxing the people some more.
sorry, we should tell people that the measure that Kanitha's talking about is a transactions tax. It's not a straight sales tax, that's what it is. Go ahead. I want to, for those
Correct.
who
Yes.
have no idea what it is, that's what it is.
Yes, yes, exactly. And every time you go in dining, shopping, you buy gas, grocery, it's just going to be more. While inflation's already high. And I said, well, if the argue is that Oakland have the lowest sales tax against all the county of Alameda, then
Mhm.
maybe we should advertise that and said, hey, we have our bipping under control,
Yeah.
our crime is really down. Come and shop and keep all our business local because we have the lowest sales tax. Versus like we're gonna raise it, and the population here is not small like Emeryville or Hayward. We have a big population that is going to be largely affected, and you're going to lose more business. People not going to be like, wow, I'm going to shop in Oakland immediately. No, they're going to be like, well, I'm going to go shop somewhere else because I don't want to get my car window broken. And
Mhm.
and you and I know when people shop, their experience, they look at the bill, it's the bottom number, not like say, wow, the business only get this and the tax going to go here, right? It's just like, wow, it's so expensive. It's so expensive to dine and eat in Oakland because my lunch now turned into a $500 lunch because my window just got broken. Do you think people are going to come again? No, their experience is just tainted, right? So we need to really advertise, like, how do we encourage people to come back and build that confidence and get rid of all the fear, right? And promote it.
Yeah. That's so. How is it that you want people to come on? Website? Do you have a website or?
Yeah, so my website is www.kanithaforoakland.com. You can read everything about me. All my life story is pretty much online, and all my information. Every time you run for office, everything is online, right? Which is good and bad. It's been a great learning journey for me, and I'm feeling very excited. And I
Is it
hope
for
to,
Oakland or FOR? It's FOR for Oakland, right?
yeah, FOR, yes, for
Gotcha.
Oakland
.com.
.com, yes. Yes, I'm very excited, and I think that if I could earn the people trust and their vote, that I would go in there and really, turn things around. And I think the last time we have a business person or someone who understand and come from that sector was Frank Ogawa, and that was 30 years ago. And I think Oakland really needs someone with coming from a different way of thinking and knowing how to say, okay, how do I take $1 and make it into 100? And pay
Right.
yourself last, right? Pay yourself last.
I like that. Say that
Take
one more
care of
time.
everybody else first.
I like that. Say that one more time.
How did you take $1, make it an 100, and then pay everybody and taking care, and create jobs and like build prosperities? And I think these are what we need right now. And someone who never want a political jobs or work in the government, it's just like I felt like our city needs it. And I love Oakland. Oakland have been kind to me, and I built my community here. I gave birth to my 2 daughters. I have the restaurant forever. I still have my business here. I live here. I own property here. I invest here. So I want to see the city thriving. I want the street it's great for an 8-year-old to walk and an 80-year-old to walk. And our restaurants are buzzing and it's affordable to live, not like so complicated to do business. It took
Right.
me 2.5 years to get a permit to build a grocery store. I had to sell
What?
3 houses, and I had to
Say
borrow
that. Say
half a
that one more
million
time.
dollar.
Say that one more time.
Well, Oakland is not a business pro city. When I built my grocery store in 2015, it took me 2.5 years to get the permit, to get everything up. I literally have to sell my house. I have to borrow half a million dollars. So these are the kind of thing that
Oh.
what costs everything so expensive
Oh my
until
God.
we figured out that we need to get the bureaucracy and all the different things to become less complicated, so where people can like open a restaurant, a coffee shop, or a small accounting firm or whatever that everybody's passionate about. And it's very easy to and costly to open and close, by the way, because I closed Spice Monkey, and that's took me 2.5 years also to close my
Oh my
funding
gosh.
with all the paperwork and all the craziness. That's why my heart go out to all the people who like, I want to open a business because they have a passion and they want to make a living while they're serving the community, right? Taking care of the people. So I want to figure it out. Like Obama said, small business is the backbone of America and the
Right.
cornerstone of our community. So how do we bring that and we save that? Because it's almost like a smoking mirror now for an illusion that small business could thrive and survive in America anymore. The corporations and everything, it's just becoming bigger and bigger, and all the small business is just struggling everywhere, and we need to change that. So I'm asking for people to vote. Very important. April 14, tax day, you can't forget it. And you get to do the second thing, the most important, make your voice heard, which is vote. You get to vote on 3 things if you live in District 2. One is the mayor. Second is your district voice, which is the council District 2
Yep.
for the special election. And then you get to vote on tax, Measure A. So,
Yep.
and it will affect everybody and everybody. So,
That's right.
yeah.
Well said. So
Thank you.
we'll have you back, and everybody, check her out, please.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Folks, that ends the stream. You don't have to move a muscle, my friend. Everybody, subscribe to Zenny62 on YouTube and bookmark OaklandNewsOnline.com and also ZennyReport.com and Zenny62blog.com and Oakland News on OaklandNewsNowblog.com and OscarMovieNews.com. Just kidding. Well, not. And NFL News by Zenny62.com. Yeah, and San Diego Comic Con News.com.
I
think that's all of them. I had to get them all.
I love it.
Don't move a muscle. We'll be back later tonight, folks.